Hello and welcome to another Lemonade series. I'm Jaquetta and I'm here with Lynne Forrest, the creator of the reality formula. Today we're going to talk about why optimism works and how it is not just living in denial, and what is the difference between being in denial versus having a positive attitude. And because we get that kind of question sometimes. Isn't that just denial if I choose the happier version? And so what are your thoughts on this, Lynne?
That is such a great question. It really is. It's what's behind the whole idea of turning lemons into lemonade. And it basically is based on the understanding that the guiding principles teaches us. The second guiding principle says that we are vibrational beings. And what that means is that we are constantly putting out an energetic projection, an emotional projection based on what we are thinking and believing. So if I'm thinking and focused on negativity and limitation and scarcity, then I am actually projecting an emotional vibration that resonates, goes out in the world, resonates, and attracts to it that like frequency. So when I look at the world pessimistically, when I look at the world through a lens that says it's a problem, that there's something wrong with the way things are, and then immediately what I feel emotionally or feel internally is resistance, and it might be in the form of resentment or fear, very often fear. I would say fear at the base of whatever emotional output you're having or sending out, projecting when you believe that the world is a problem and that what you're seeing is a problem, then that's going to put out that particular frequency that will invite evidence and invite to you that which will prove you right. It's the way it works. So basically, no matter what happens, we have two choices. We have a choice. And that is, we can either choose to see it through a lens that says, it shouldn't be this way, that there's something wrong with the way it is, and so therefore I need to resist it, which again means I'm going to project the emotional charge that goes with that, and I will prove me right. There will be more problems. I will create more of that. It's sort of a way of me sending out and saying to the universe, I want more of this particular vibration. So sending out a negative, pessimistic, problem-oriented projection, emotional projection will bring back that and more of it. And so that's the first choice. And it's sort of the worldview. That's what victim consciousness is. Victim consciousness is choosing to see the world through eyes of fear, which say you're at the mercy of it, which say that I'm helpless here, that I'm out of control, that something else is in charge of my okayness, of my well-being. I feel at the mercy of. That's victim consciousness. And when I see the world through a lens that says it's a problem, I am in victim consciousness. The other choice that we have is to choose to see it as an opportunity. And this is why lemons to lemonade is such a great concept, because I can look at it as, this is lemons and they're bitter and they draw the mouth and they're, I don't like them. Or I can look at it and ask the question, what can I do with this? How can I turn this into something delicious? What can I see about this that helps me understand me more? And so when I began to look at the world, that's the other option, is to see a world where there is no accident, no coincidence, no mistake, that we are receiving and the world is responding to us in ways that are a frequency match for our own emotional projection. And so therefore it's a mirror. So therefore it shows me what sort of things I'm telling myself, believing, what I'm latching onto, the ride I'm taking, what am I hitching my wagon to? And what am I going to, when I hitch to an unhappy thought, then what is that going to, what kind of return is that going to bring me? And so it's that option. And for me, this is what the guiding principles are so amazing about, because for me, anytime I have I have that mind that wants to go into victim problem mentality. We all do, or most of us do. There may be a few of us out there who have moved beyond that. that is the opportunity. That's the invitation, is to recognize that what I'm seeing is not so much about what is, although it's what is, but it's more about what am I projecting. Because as soon as I begin to look for opportunity, refinement, information, enlightenment, when I began to look at this as an initiation, as an opportunity to grow, to stretch, to expand my consciousness, when I look at it as here to teach me something, then what happens is I'm putting out a whole different energy. I'm putting out an energy that invites more opportunity, that invites expansion, that invites the opportunity to see it in a way that turns it into something delicious. So that's what I think about the purpose of, and optimism is a beautiful thing. Optimism is the lemonade of the consciousness that says I'm taking these lemons in life and I'm turning them into something really flavorful and rich and good for me. And this is our opportunity. This is our invitation. We have it no matter what is going on, no matter how painful our life may seem and be in the moment. I want to look ahead to where this could take me. Where do I want it to take me? How can this refine me? How is it for me? And that's where I want to live my life. So optimism actually guides you to a more optimistic place. Whereas seeing it through the eyes of pessimism and problem takes you there. So do you want to hang out in the swamps or where the pestilence is, the pessimism, or do you want to go to higher ground? And that's a choice you have right now. Every single moment, regardless of what happens, you have the opportunity to frame it in a way that furthers and soothes you. So.
Well said. Very well put. I agree. And I do this challenge on a regular basis every day. So,
yeah.
And I'm not always, it's not always my first choice. I don't always just, I'm not always just optimistic, but knowing that I have the choice is helpful. And that, oh yeah, I could see this differently. How could I see this differently? Just knowing that there is another way to see it makes me look for it. And then it comes to me.
You know, it's one of the things that you and I do and that we practice more in our family, which is the tendency in bonding, the way family members often bond in the world out there, is we get together and we commiserate on how full of lemons our life is.
Yes.
How difficult, what a struggle we're having. And then being a family member of someone who is telling us their story of woe, what it elicits in us is that which wants to join forces with, that wants them not to be alone in their misery. And right. So we'll step down into their misery with them. Mm-hmm. Look at life as, and then we'll start telling stories about how bad we have it. And sometimes it even turns into like a victim competition where you think, well, what about, I know what you mean, but you know, at my house. And so this is sort of a bonding thing that it's a habitual way of bonding. But what we're doing with this work, and I notice what you and I do, is we bring our lens. And if one of us is in our sort of seeing the lemons part, then the other one will begin to say, well, what if you looked at it like this? Or what if you see it that way? And so what begins to happen is the energy begins to go up. The emotional energy that we're projecting begins to shift. We begin to see possibilities of ways to see it we might not have thought of on our own. And in this way, we can support each other in seeing life through the eyes of optimism.
And that is so true. And that's the kind of relationship that kind of takes a little extra effort, a little more consciousness to put on the ground, because it is so easy and so normal to commiserate and complain with each other instead of saying, hey, what about this? And I know at first when I would come across someone that would present me with the positive, I would be annoyed. Like, why are you so happy all the time? Don't you understand I'm upset?
No, you must not care. We really believe that if you care, you will step down into the swamps with me.
Right.
And will not help you. That will not. Yeah, there's nowhere but down to go from there. You know? And
when they say,
most
could it get any worse? Well, yes, it can always get worse. So you don't want to look for how it can get worse. You want to look for how it can get better. Yeah. And that's what you'll find when you do.
Yeah, where's the ladder out of here? That's what I want. Rather than let's go down deeper in it and muck around in it and come away feeling just scared and miserable and call it love. No.
Exactly.
It's not love. It's not love.